And so, Claudia, finally, Peace Working Group Coordinator of the European Left, Germany. 3 minutes, please.
Yes, thank you. And I want to give you the happy news that it is not just that we announce what we are going to do as the European left, but we already have done some, I think, important things regarding the issue of war and peace. For example, we've been part of the protests against NATO policies in Warsaw during last year's summit there. At the beginning of this year, during the meeting of NATO in Brussels, we've been part of the protests, have enabled the peace movement together there, and also for sure, and I hope to see many of you again there, we will be part of the protests against the next NATO summit, which is actually also going to be in Brussels. So we should give them a hearty welcome, because we must make it very, very clear we don't agree with NATO policies, we don't agree with wars, and we don't agree with spending 2% of the GDP for wars. It is absolutely unacceptable to do it like this. So I hope that we can make this very clear. What we also did as European Left Working Group is to establish a network against military bases. We established it in September, this year in September, together with comrades from Estonia, from Great Britain, from Germany, from many other countries. We hope to get the people from Cyprus on board, from Spain, from Italy. So it would be really a great thing to make it clear that we are against this kind of military infrastructure, and we could involve people on the ground in this. What I also want to point out, that we have a lot of work to do with regards to the peace issue. And yes, we know what NATO is doing is really a catastrophe with regards to peace and war. But the question of European Union militarization has been mentioned here, and I'm happy to those who have mentioned it, for example, to Vera. But we have the problem that European Union, for example, the Commission, talks about this militarization of European Union like saving money, like being more efficient, like streamlining the military so that we don't have so many military systems, but focus the economic efforts on some of the military systems. But if European Union leaders talk about this so-called structured cooperation or permanent structured cooperation, you might hear it called PESCO, it's abbreviation of this permanent structured cooperation. When they don't talk about saving money, they talk about war. They talk about preparing for war, they talk about European Union military project, they talk about a European army, or at least about the core of a European army. And I have, as coming from Germany, unfortunately Germany is also at the heart of this. Together with France, with Italy, with Spain, they want to establish this military integration of European Union. And we already know what neoliberal integration has done to democracy and has done to people, what military integration might do to people inside and outside of the European Union. Sometimes it's even inconceivable, but we have to tell people what it means. We have to tell them, if you agree to this, if your governments agree to this, you will have to spend more and more money. European Union will become more and more aggressive. So please keep in mind, on Monday there will be this decision that your country might signal to the European Commission that they want to be part of this permanent structured cooperation. And in December, on the 14th and 15th, they want to make the final decision on it. So please do everything you can to oppose this, and let's be in it together, because this is surely not the European Union we want to have. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for